Welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you are new here, my name is Brianna, and today we are going over the college application roadmap, navigating the path to success for our seniors. So if you are a junior in high school, then you're on the wrong video. Click the previous one. All right, let's get started. So this section is mainly a timeline for anyone watching during the summer, and this is not a fully comprehensive in-depth video. I'm going to have more specialized videos later on, but I just want to give you guys a brief synopsis of what you guys should be doing around this time. So number one, not in order, finalize your college list, and that's in between 8 to 10 schools ideally. So these can range from your safety schools, which are schools that you're 90 to 100% sure you're going to get into. That could be like a community college or just something based off of your scores, your transcripts, like grades and like GPA and stuff like that. Then you have your target schools, which are schools that are a little bit more competitive, but you kind of match the average range of SAT and ACT scores or, other factors. So let's say you got a 1400 on the SAT, maybe their average SAT is a 1420, so nothing too far off. Then there's your reach schools where it takes a little bit more work to get into. These could be like your Ivy League, stuff like that. And in addition to grades, you would have to focus more on like your extracurriculars and stuff like that in order for you to be more competitive and more well-rounded for you to be considered. Number two, prepare to start your application, or the common application, which opens August 1st. So during this time, this kind of goes in between number 2 and number 4. The only way you can really start to prepare for your application is by getting ahead in a lot of things. So one of those things could be to start brainstorming your college essay, or even start drafting your college essay in between now and when the application opens August 1st. And so the common application is basically a system where you can apply to multiple schools at the same time, for whoever is in contract with the company. Common application, but for the most part is pretty much all the accredited schools in the United States who use common application. But that way you have one set of personal information you have to put in, one set of scores, one set of essays, one set of transcripts, and once you click submit, you just submit it from the same website. You don't have to like individually go to each school's website and submit the application. You can just submit it right from there. So number 3, also take your SAT or ACT if you have not already, or if you're not ready for taking it in the summer, then start studying ASAP. And number 5, email your guidance counselor if you're interested in dual enrollment. So I kind of told this to my juniors, but dual enrollment is basically a program where you can take college credits at a nearby community college, and that way you can get ahead in school. You can transfer your credits to the college that you want to go to, or you can even get your associate's in arts degree and graduate early. So these are things that can potentially help you save money or get you ahead in your career. So if that's something you are interested in doing, then talk to your guidance counselor as soon as possible so that you at least have a year of schoolwork or a year of credits that you can use to put towards your education. So for the fall, so this is starting whenever your school starts in August, September, whichever that is. Also not in order, but number 1, it is also time to meet with your guidance counselor to finalize your plan and keep touring colleges. So, it's sometimes good to just get another opinion. I know a lot of these guidance counselors may not they may not give you like 100% top of the top best advice, which I personally feel like you should take it with a grain of salt. But just meet with somebody who you feel has experience in this area, maybe a mentor or something like that, just to double check, everything before you submit it. And also tour your colleges if you can. If you haven't already in your junior year, tour those colleges that you're considering, because as I said before, what appears to be good online may not be as good in person. So you want to go in person to feel out the vibes and everything like that, and you may not be able to see that online. Okay, number 2, start asking for letters of recommendation, ideally around 2 teachers. I think this is very helpful because, especially if you're signing up for scholarships, a lot of them require letters of recommendation. So at least you have this one out of the way, so you don't have to keep asking your teachers whenever you apply for a new scholarship. And also sign up for the FAFSA in October. So the FAFSA is, I'm not sure what it stands for, like the Federal Application for Financial Aid or something like that. And so this you have to apply for every single year starting your senior year of high school if you plan to go straight through into college. Like once you graduate, you start that August. And this will allow you to potentially qualify for a Pell Grant if your parents' salary is within that range. I personally didn't qualify for it, but regardless if your parents make too much money or not, still apply for it just in case. And this also, a lot of scholarship applications ask for your SAR, which is like a complete comprehensive list of everything you placed into your FAFSA. So still fill it out. And number 3, take your final attempt of the SAT or ACT. And I say take your final attempt because once you get to spring, almost all the applications close. Like I believe most applications close January, February, March. So it's the latest time you should take it. I would probably say it's like October, and so that way you can have that under your belt. Number 4, keep working on your application. So in order to keep track of these, I use an Excel sheet where I basically listed all of the colleges that I was interested in, their tuitions, the cost of each application, because if you are not on free and reduced lunch, you have to pay for these applications out of pocket. So if you are on free and reduced lunch, talk to your guidance counselor and have them get a waiver for you. But yeah, throughout that Excel sheet, I had the cost, I had the location of the college, I had the SAT and ACT score range and stuff like that. I had their rank. These are like things that just list everything that you feel is important to you, and that way you can keep track of it easily in like one place. And also do not let those grades sink. So you can get really carried away, especially like you're planning to tour all these colleges and you're planning to get ready for college, and you can get a little sidetracked, and it's important to keep those grades up. And this is one of the most important years to keep those grades up. Number 5, submit your applications and send in your SAT or ACT scores. So if you are applying early decision, let's say for an Ivy League or something like that, which is basically just before the regular deadline of like January 1st, like if you're applying in November, December, whenever early decision is, then yeah, it would be time to submit your application before Christmas. And if your school requires it, like check your school website and stuff like that, send in your SAT or ACT scores, because I personally almost missed my deadline because I didn't know that my specific college in particular wanted you to manually send in your SAT or ACT scores to them compared to just doing it through the common application. So make sure you research each school to see if they want you to send in your SAT or ACT scores. And finally, start a club or become an officer in a previous club. So I told this to my juniors that, these application experts that look over your application, they see thousands and thousands of applications every single day. So starting a club or having some leadership experience will definitely help you to stand out, because not much people take on leadership positions in high school. So either you start your own club in something you're passionate about, or you move up into a higher role with your previous clubs. This could be like NHS. I was the leader of like a fashion club, and I started my own club with a friend where we basically helped people who were interested in dual enrollment with tips and tutorials and stuff like that to make their pathway smooth. So stuff like that. It doesn't have to be too complicated, just something that you're passionate about and you can talk about. Okay, so timeline for seniors during the spring. So this isn't really like a timeline. These are just things to take into consideration. Number 1 is acceptances. So acceptances will occur between December and April. So that's what I was saying with like early decision, rolling admission. Early decision your acceptances, you might get accepted by December. And rolling admission is like if a college, like they basically never have an official deadline for you guys to submit your application. Like it goes like year round and stuff like that. But it's still good to get your application in early before you start school. Like you don't want to apply in like May and you start school in August. So just as something to keep in mind. And also look into your financial aid and scholarships. So research local scholarships. I'm also going to make another video on scholarships just by itself, but research local scholarships. I wouldn't recommend applying to the national scholarships, but I'll explain more of that in my next video. And start applying to them ASAP. So when I mean ASAP, I mean starting January 1st, 2024, or wherever you're seeing this. Start applying to them because it's so easy to miss the deadline. I've actually missed the deadline on a scholarship like once or twice, and thankfully I was given grace, but you may not always be given grace, so start applying. Number 3, transcripts. Request your official transcripts from your guidance counselor. And you might be like, okay, well, why do I need my official transcripts when my college can already see them? And these are mainly for like your scholarships, because your scholarship might want an official transcript, or your college, since you are just finishing up senior year and you're applying during the fall. Let's say like you might not have as good grades during the fall, but then you really came strong in the spring. Then you might want to update that college that potentially rejected you or something like that. So these are where your transcripts could come in handy. And finally, make your final decision. So now let's say you've gotten accepted into all the colleges that you wanted. Now is the time to compare locations, you know, how much money each school gives you, if they give you anything, tuition costs, and honestly vibes. Like after you tour them, I personally did not tour my college because I just knew 100% that I was going to go there. But it is still good to just tour the college for, you know, if you're someone who's passionate about school spirit, like see if they have anything like that. If you're passionate about clubs or being represented in your like minority and stuff like that, these are things to keep in mind. And I would also make an Excel sheet for this as well. So the summer after graduation, this is the time when you have officially chosen your college of your dreams and you're ready to be a university student. So this is not in order, but the first thing that you can do after you graduate is look into sending in your enrollment deposit to your college of choice. So not much people talk about this, but yes, you have a deposit that you need to send in before you start school, so that you know this shows that you're committed to this school and you can't back out. And number 2, write thank you letters to your scholarship donors. It is really it's just more of a respect thing. You know, these people are contributing to your education, so write thank you letters. Just it doesn't have to be too complicated, and just send it back to the address where you got the scholarship from. Number 3, send in your final transcripts from your senior year. As I was saying before, your college, when you apply, they don't have access to your grades from your spring semester of your senior year. So they might either ask for you to send that in, or if not, send it in anyways. And number 4, remember to look out for those upcoming AP scores or transferable college credits. So just double check, especially for the college credits, double check to make sure that these credits are transferable before you take the class, or if the community college, if your university accepts credits from those community colleges and stuff like that. And then also look out for those upcoming AP scores so that you can transfer those to your college as well. Number 5, consider making an appeal to any schools that rejected you. So let's say you really, really, really wanted to go to an Ivy League and they rejected you and you feel like you were really deserving of it. Consider making an appeal. You know, let's say you didn't really have as good grades in your senior year fall, as I was saying before. Send in another transcript, or email them an update of, you know, something new you're doing, and they could reconsider your application and then still accept you. They just needed that extra push from you to just prove them wrong. So consider doing that. And finally, number 6, always, always, always check your email and spam. Please do. because that's sometimes how I would end up missing out on like scholarship deadlines and stuff like that, because it would be in my spam and I'm like, oh my gosh, like if I saw this earlier I would have been able to apply. So always check your email and your spam, because college is no joke. Your email is very important in these times. Alrighty, so I know that was a lot to take in, so I developed a little bit of an action plan just for you guys to get started on right now. So number one, if you're watching this in the summer, start drafting your college essay. And this could also be the time to think about taking on any leadership roles or doing dual enrollment. Again, if you want to do dual enrollment, your guidance counselor might say it's a little late to apply, but still ask them. And you could at least, if anything, you could at least do it during the spring of your senior year. As long as you get something, you can transfer. Number two, sign up to take your SAT or ACT when you feel ready. I really do not recommend waiting to the last minute, like November, to take your SAT, because your scores come out like, I don't know, 3 weeks from then. And then most applications close January, February. Number three, apply for college early, starting August 1st, and apply for the FAFSA, which I believe it opens up October 1st. And finally, apply for local scholarships during the spring, and remember to always check your email. So as I said before, I want to do like little quotes of the day. So this one is by Satya Nani, which says, "A little progress each day adds up to big results." And it is so true. Like, you don't have to, I don't want you guys to be overwhelmed with anything. Take it day by day, and you're gonna see like, wow, what a big change it has been from a couple months ago to now. So thank you guys so much. If you have any questions, I have an email that's strictly just for any admissions questions or anything like that. And I've also started a Discord community. So if you want to join our Discord, where you can keep up with the latest announcements and deadlines and stuff like that, you can just screenshot this link on the screen, and I'll also leave it in the description below. But thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you.